welcome back to my channel. So today is Soul Sunday. It is actually Sunday today. It's a very different day. I am wearing my 49ers jersey or shirt because today is Super Bowl. But I am home from church today. Well, so far I'm home from church. We're going to see what can happen here. Maybe I can make some magic happen and get there. But I have two really sick kids. So last Sunday, Brad came down with whatever it was, the flu, whatever. He just had a really bad cough, was achy, fever, the whole thing. Lasted about 4 days. And then he's on the mend, still has like a cough, but he feels better. And then Lexi was down same time as him. Then Aubrey went down. She's on the mend. Still not up 100%, but she's on the mend. And then Ezra is really, really sick. So we have just, it's been going through. So far, Toby, Elijah, and I are the only ones who have not gotten it. So it's a very different day. And this week has just been a very different week because I've been in caretaker mode, just, you know, making sure the house stays afloat and the kids are taken care of, Brad's taken care of. So it's just been a very different week. But in this week, God definitely did speak to me, and that's kind of what these videos are all about. This is just, I had a friend back in the day who would ask me, what did God speak to you? And I would like get so mad because there was weeks where I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. What do you mean, what did God speak to me this week? But the whole point of the question, the whole point of these videos is just to take a pause because He is always speaking. He is always trying to guide and help and comfort you. It's just, are you pausing long enough to hear Him? And that is kind of the intention of my heart and of these videos. And just that question always made me take pause and like, okay, what is God speaking? So pause today and see what God is speaking to you today. But for this week, what I really felt, well, two things. One, Kobe Bryant passed away last Sunday in this crazy accident, which is just so sad. My prayers have been with his family. It affected me emotionally more than I expected because I actually was not a huge Kobe Bryant fan. I respected him. I felt like he did a lot of good. A lot of people were raised with him in their living rooms. Like, he had a huge influence, and sometimes I didn't like how he used his influence, but then there was other times that I just really respected him. I love how he talks about goals and dreams and just not quitting when there's adversity, and just it was so unfortunate. His daughter was with him. Like, it was just so sad. But then through the week, Toby was like, man, you're really not promised tomorrow. And I think that is a realization that a lot of people had from his passing, because here he was, he had all the riches, he had all the fame, he had the love of his family. I mean, his daughter was with him, just all the things, and that still didn't save him from meeting his maker. And we wouldn't assume it would have happened that quickly. So we truly are not promised tomorrow. There's no amount of fame, money, things that can save you from one day passing away. And on that day, what's going to happen to your soul? Are you, do you know Jesus? Are you going to heaven, or are you going to hell? So, and I hate, like, this is not a hellfire and brimstone, but that is the reality. There is a heaven and there is a hell. So for me, in my quiet time this week too, God was speaking to me like, and I actually don't have like one verse because it was many, and I was trying to get my thoughts together. But the theme of it all, in fact, I should probably find a verse. So pause. Sorry, I knew there was one that sent me on this direction, and then just all the different things, but I didn't write it down. I don't know why. So anyway, it's Proverbs 27:1. Do not boast about tomorrow, for you do not know what a day may bring. And that is just the whole truth. Like, we can make our plans. That's another verse. We can make our plans, but God orders our steps. And we just, although I feel like I'm a goal setter, a goal planner, all those things, it's great to have those goals, but you also have to submit them to the Lord and know that, yes, we have the goals. Yes, we can look into the future. Yes, we can like strive to be more and have more, whatever, achieve more. But the reality is we have today promised. We woke up this morning with breath in our lungs. So what are we going to do today that is going to glorify God, that is going to move you towards your goals? What are you going to do today? Because you don't know what tomorrow brings. When I started this week, I didn't know that I'd have a full week almost off because I had to take care of sick people. I didn't know that. So if I would have been derailed by like, oh man, my plan didn't happen or whatever, and I'm not going to spend time with God, or I'm not going to do this, and this. No, like, we're promised today. What can I do today that is good? And so that kind of brings me to what, like, just God was speaking to my heart. Let me get back to my notes. Sorry, because I actually did write them down. If you live with an eternal mindset, you can't make decisions that are focused on things that don't last, such as influence, money, fame, all these things. I mean, because I know there's decisions like, I just don't have the money to do that, or whatever. And that might be the truth. But if it would benefit another soul, if it would grow me and my character, if it would glorify God in some way, am I going to always let money be a deterrent? Like, here's what I mean. Like, when I have X amount of dollars in my savings account, then I'll start giving. Or when I have X amount of, houses, then I'll be generous. Like, I hear that all the time, and I felt that. So no judgment at all. Like, well, once I have this, then I'll give. Then I'll be generous. I mean, I want to be one of those people who, like Ellen. Well, Ellen didn't get that way because she just started giving when she was rich. She got that way because she has a generous heart. Whatever you think about Ellen, whatever. But she's very generous. And I just feel like that is a character trait that is developed. And so you can't make a decision out of just something that is so fleeting. Like, money goes away really quickly. So your decisions can't be based off money. Your decisions can't be based off of like, well, I'm influencing these people now. I mean, in this season, I have realized that the people that I feel like I have influence over can leave me tomorrow. So you just never know. The things that last are relationships. So I do say foster those. The Lord, your salvation, things like that. Those are the things that last. His kingdom lasts. His everything lasts. Build your life and your decisions on the eternal things that matter, not the things that just kind of go away. So that was one of them. Kobe Bryant, he passed away. He had all the money in the world. It's gone. To him, he's gone. He has no more use for that money, but it's stored up. Not saying that you shouldn't be good stewards, so please, nobody get this twisted. In fact, that's why I was kind of like, should I share this? Here's another thing. Last Sunday, we had a missionary come speak, and so this was another thing that just really jumped out to me is he went to Denmark, and it's being a missionary, man, they are heroes. True heroes. And he made a statement that, because Brad asked him, he's like, why do you do it? And because he was describing some of the struggles, and he said, because God told me to. And I said yes, and then I'll figure it out later. Like, I'll figure out the logistics of things later. Like, so that's another point to the things that are eternal is if you feel like God is telling you to do something, or you feel like you're being stretched in a certain area and you should jump. Don't wait till all the things line up. Don't wait till all the things are perfect. If God is calling you out on the water, you're going to walk on it, honey. Just jump. Ask for the logistics later. And sometimes that's how he works. Like, will you trust me? And as you trust him, then he lays out the plan before you. But you got to jump. You got to say yes and go if it's something eternal. And then this is another one that really hit me. I just heard a story, a testimony, and it was of somebody. There was many points for forgiveness and points of just relapsing and bad habits and just different things. It was a really complicated story. But the bottom line of the story was, if you're going to love like Jesus, which we're all called to do, it's going to hurt sometimes. Because the love goes so deep and it's so pure when you start loving like Jesus that you're going to get hurt. And I feel like we live our life in a way of safety and self-preservation and all these things. So we're missing out on some of the true beauties that God has for us because we just don't want to get hurt. But if you love like Jesus, it's gonna hurt. I'm sure the cross didn't feel good. So that's kind of like, it's kind of scattered because I was, you know, watching different videos or hearing different stories or whatever this week. I mean, of course I was in my word, and that was kind of where my word was pointing me to. But the bottom line of all this is just build your life and your decisions off things that are eternal. If God says do it, do it. And if you're going to love like Jesus, it's not going to be safe. That was another thing I read in a book. Ooh, I'm going to show you my book that I just finished too. It's not particularly Christian. Like, it's a business book. It's called Beginner's Pluck. It's by Liz Forkin Bohannon. And it is so good. Like, if you're one of my fellow goal-getter kind of girls, like, this takes everything you think you know and, like, twists it and, like, really makes you think. Like, this was such a good book. But towards the end, she quotes a scene from Narnia, because she's talking about how her business was scary and like there were so many risks involved and just all these things, and we can't always play it safe. Sometimes we have to take that risk. And a quote from Narnia, and it's where I can't remember the girl, but she's meeting Aslan, or going to meet Aslan, and she asks the beaver, she's like, he's scary, I'm scared to meet him. I'm butchering this. So here's the quote. I found it in the book. And it's, if you don't know, Narnia is like a story of Jesus and God, just disguised, kind of. I don't know what that's called. Allegory? Is that what it's called? Aslan is a lion. The lion, the great lion, said Mr. Beaver. Oh, said Susan. I thought he was a man. Is he quite safe? I feel rather nervous about meeting a lion. Safe, said Mrs. Beaver. Who said anything about safe? Of course he isn't safe, but he's good. He's the king, I tell you. He isn't safe, but he's good. What he's calling you to do might not be safe, but he'll be good and he'll be faithful through it. So I just love that. I hope that speaks to you today. Happy Soul Sunday. Go Niners, and we'll see you in our next video. Bye, guys.